Good morning, respected Chairman Sir, my colleagues. First of all, I am thankful to the organizer, especially Dr. Garg and his team, for organizing such a nice conference. And it's true that in the world, I think there is very less conference which is connecting oil, commercial hydrocarbon along with the hydrogen. And this is really a good conference. In fact, last year also I spoke. As Chairman Sir told, I have this is my 47th year in energy sector. 40 years I worked in oil and gas, and last 6-7 years I am working in renewables. Presently I am in Pandit Deendayal Energy University and guiding few research projects funded by Shell. And one of the project is in fact a hydrogen. Others are biodiesel and carbon dioxide sequestration. And I am happy to share that I will be giving the reply to Deepak Yadavji that we have partly solved the problem of water. And I will tell that how we have solved the problem of water for hydrogen. That I will tell. Before starting this hydrogen topic is very relevant. Hydrogen net zero source, how it will contribute toward the net zero. We are all telling that we are going for net zero in 2070, and we have seen that Paris Agreement and COP and all that. And these all agreement, our efforts is that how we can go for carbon free and all that. And hydrogen is the future fuel, that is correct. And as Chairman Sir told, that although we are skeptical about in fact I also profess that oil is not going to be over in coming foreseeable future. But if the technology like this mobile and other things comes, definitely we may say an abrupt change. Before starting my presentation, I just put one slide that yesterday one of the presenters has put that slide, and that is important slide for India at least. What is the present status of economy, energy basket? So in that slide, it is showing that what is the global status and where we stand in India. As you know that in global scenario, 81 to 82% of energy, primary energy, is being contributed by hydrocarbon, that is coal, oil and gas in the world. And India, this is 89 as of now. USA 82.3. It means that reaching 82 from today, 2025, to 82% contribution in primary energy is a very difficult task for all of us in India. In spite of the fact that our Honorable Prime Minister has given a task of enhancing the gas contribution and now the hydrogen mission, etc. But it's a fact, although we are partially successful, but partially failure also. Failure in the sense that you might be knowing that when our Prime Minister has taken over, and he has conducted an energy summit in 2015, 10 years back. And the target was that gas contribution should enhance from 6 to 15%. Today it is less than 7%. So that we could not do. The reasons can be many. Although we are talking of LNG, gas production, enhancing gas production, bringing gas from various countries, including Mozambique and all that. But the fact remains that even today, as per IEA data, or as per the government data, Niti Aayog data, we are contributing less than 7% gas in primary energy. That is an area of concern. Global average is 23%. We are trying to achieve 15, but in 10 years we could not achieve even one more. We could not reach from 6 to 7. So that is the area of concern. And if you see the renewable, yes, what we have done in last 10 years, last one decade, in solar and other things, wind energy and all that, we could reach to around 6%, as against 8% global. Renewable contribution in the global is roughly 8%, and in India it is around now 6%. So that is a definitely good step. The government policies for hydrogen mission is conducive, and you have seen in last around 2-3 years, most of the big companies like ONGC, NTPC, Oil India, IOC, etc., plus Ambani ji, Adani ji and other big entrepreneurs, each one is contributing, and at least they have committed a huge investment in hydrogen. And this, they definitely, once this much investment is there, so technological breakthrough and hydrogen hub, as my colleagues have pointed out, that we have a big potential, although we have a very soft target of 5 million tons by 2030. although potentially is showing very high, but our target, government target or the Niti Aayog target for 2030 is only 5 million ton. But that even today it is difficult to achieve. If price is a big thing. Even our Prime Minister told that $1, 1 kg in 10 years, 1 decade. He told it, this thing in 2-3 years back by 2030. But its fact remains that even today we are not able to produce green hydrogen even in $3 to $4. And when we are telling green hydrogen, it means it should be produced by renewables. That's why it's green. It cannot be produced by electrolysis of conventional hydrocarbon, this electricity or all that. Green means that we should produce this by renewables only, either solar or wind or any other things, or the waste, etc. These are the things, then only we are telling green. Otherwise, we have a huge amount of production of grey hydrogen in your refineries and cement plant and other things. But green hydrogen producing at $1 is really a difficult task. But still we are going towards the right direction, and technology breakthrough will take place, and then we may produce this much hydrogen. And then our energy requirement is going very high in view of a big population and large number of people below poverty line, and energy, they are going to a very social status is also important for India and all that. And you might be knowing that recently some UN has given one report that out of 8 billion people, 2.4 billion people are not having access to the energy. So if these 2.4 billion people will have access to energy, so you think that how much demand will be there for. So this is in fact, you can just see yesterday, although this data is available, you see global oil, coal 58%, and if you see in our case, oil itself is 27% and coal is 56%. Our oil, coal is 83% against 58%. Gas 23% is the world average, that is the global, as per IEA. So it means oil, coal, gas, which is 83% in our case, here it is around 58 plus 23. So it will be 81% oil, gas and coal itself. So the commercial hydrocarbon contribution, as our chairman sir have told, although we say as a oil energy people and as a energy people from oil and gas, we are telling that this will continue to be the significant contribution of commercial hydrocarbon. But if we see the policy, we have last year 22-23, India has produced highest amount of coal. So in one of the conference I told Mr. Saswat, who is the Niti Aayog member here, I told one side you are telling net zero, and other side you are telling that coal production is highest in India. So where we have to use the coal, and coal is a known pollutant. Coal is a known pollutant. Like oil and gas, we are people see towards us as a pollution industry, oil and gas. Similarly, coal is much more than oil and gas. So how we are going to replace coal? Whether we are going to replace all the coal fed power plants or the fertilizer plants with gas, which is not, we are not looking at that. Gas production is not at all increasing even up to now. Future it may increase the production. So that is a point for the energy people like CEW, these my colleague, that whether we are going the 56% coal, which we are telling, so how much we can replace in coming 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and what are the steps which we are taking. Whether some of the coal-fed power plants we are going to change, whether the coal use we are going to change. Coal imports also we are doing. You might have seen Adani is importing huge amount of coal from Australia, in spite of the fact that we are producing a big producer, but still we are consuming coal from the import. So that policy document should see, and then only we can go to the net zero. Just by telling net zero in 2070, we will not be able to achieve until unless, as Chairman Sir told, that hydrogen breakthrough take place. And it's a chance is there, but we cannot say foreseeable future whether $1, 1 kg we will be able to produce. If we are not able to produce $1, 1 kg, it is really difficult. Today, you might have seen yesterday, oil price has gone down to $65. From 80, yesterday it was $65. and India's import was even last year import was less than $70. So if oil is available at $65 and oil production is going to increase, presently global oil production is 95 million barrels a day, and there is a chance that every chance that global oil production is increasing. And if global oil production is increasing and we are getting a oil at $65 or $60, so whether we will be able to replace that with the hydrogen or the renewable energy, which we may or may not produce at a sustainable or a achievable techno-economics and all that, that is required to be seen. Okay. Now coming to my next presentation, that whether the hydrogen will contribute to the net zero, answer is yes. If hydrogen is replacing, definitely we will be having a big step towards the net zero. That is a fact. But if you see the hydrogen economy, just where we can replace this hydrogen. Next. If we are running a bus, next slide. Oh, sorry. If you see, hydrogen economy refers to vision of replacing hydrogen as a low carbon energy source. If you just see, if we are running a bus, AC bus for 5 years, it is contributing towards 1,134,000 this much big pounds of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is equivalent to around planting more than 13,000 plants, 108 normal commercial vehicles, or the lighting of around 13,000 bulbs. So that is equivalent to that much amount. So if you want to replace it with hydrogen, so that much amount of hydrogen is required. If you see the global scenario which is projected for hydrogen in 2050, the energy demand, they are telling that 18% will be contributed by that. Carbon dioxide reduction is a big amount. Hydrogen market value is 2.5 trillion and employment generation is 30 million. So that is the benefit of hydrogen economy. So if we see from the energy security point of our country, which is the need for the energy people, so as of now we are importing around 85% of oil for our country. So if we produce hydrogen, it will have a reduce the import bill. It will help us in energy security of the country, which is a ever increasing demand. It will also integrate the renewables. Suppose if we are producing green hydrogen by solar or by wind energy, so it will be integration will take place, and this integration will help us in replacing the commercial hydrocarbon. And in fact, it's a decarbonization of different sector, not only one sector. If we across the different sector or the industrial sector, so decarbonization will take place, where the transportation is a very big thing, but the mobility is one of the biggest contributor in the emission. And it will also address the climate change. When we are telling the climate change, so social impacts of these things, as you might have seen in here in Delhi, AQI level and all that, and that earthquake and this fire and forest. So these climate change, definitely we are telling in this atmosphere we have around 470 to 480 ppm of this carbon dioxide. So whether this will, we will be able, when we are telling net zero, it means we don't want to increase the carbon dioxide level in atmosphere so that temperature should not rise. And whatever we are telling 2 degrees centigrade for the whole global, so that will impact the climate change. So it means the hydrogen, if we definitely going for a hydrogen as a fuel for the future, definitely it will contribute big towards the net zero achievement. Now, if we see where we can replace the hydrogen, so whether it can be a fuel, if we are looking at most of the transport sector and other things, or the aviation sector, if can be replaced the fuel for sustainable aviation fuel can be reduced for that, or the hydrogen can be used for that or not, that is also required. But again, if you see whether we can replace any other fuel with, in one of the study by Stanford, one of the professor, he has given one figure that if whole world car converted to EV, it will have an impact of only 1 million barrels of oil. World is producing 95 million barrels of oil. If we convert whole world four-wheeler into EV, it will have on oil it will have an impact of 1 million barrels only. This is Stanford study presented by one of the professor. It means converting whole world four-wheeler, and it will have an impact of only 1 million barrels. That's all. It means the fact that this oil and gas will continue to contribute, because not only for transport sector, it is everywhere the use of this oil and gas is there. If you see the electricity peaking plants and all that, again, if you are producing hydrogen and you are using fuel for that, that can replace partly the commercial hydrocarbon. If you see the steel or the cement, paper, food, and aluminum, where we are using nowadays other forms of energy or the commercial energy, so that hydrogen can be a source of heat and also for building residential, etc. But again, the problem with the hydrogen is, unlike CNG, where you might have seen that CNG, we are seeing 200 kg bar pressure in the petrol pumps and all that. But here you need a 600. So production is one thing. When we are telling the green hydrogen production, okay, we will produce green hydrogen $1 1 barrel. But what about the storage and transportation? That is a big problem for hydrogen. My colleague has shown something on storage and other thing, and other Mr. Easy has also shown. But making this thing commercial, transportation of hydrogen, storage of hydrogen is a big problem. And technology breakthrough is required for that sector also, not only for green production. Whatever target we are telling, $1 1 kg hydrogen production, okay, if we will achieve that, the next problem will be the storage and transportation, because the use is at different places. If you are using the hydrogen in a plane or hydrogen in a big vehicles, so you need to generate there itself. You cannot transport and all that in a truck and all that. So that hydrogen can be replaced for a source of heat in this sector. And then feedstock in chemical, whether it's the fertilizer or the fuel refineries or the plastic or the metallurgy and other things, food, steel, glass, everywhere you can replace the hydrogen. And if we are able, so the use of hydrogen, because of having a very high calorific value, the use of hydrogen can be there in all the industry. And if we are successful in commercially producing hydrocarbon, storage and then transportation to the end user, then only we will be able to get some of the net zero benefit. Otherwise, it is really a difficult task for a human being at this stage. Now coming to the, although if we come to India, yes, our Prime Minister have given a hydrogen mission in 3-4 years back. And again, I agree with that we are partially successful, not fully successful. Last 3-4 years, yes, ever since our Prime Minister has given a mission call for hydrogen, so most of the companies, because of the government companies, because they have to follow the government directive, as well as the big our businessmen, Adani, Ambani and other things, they have committed, if you see, huge amount of money in this hydrogen. But exactly what is happening in last 2-3 years, whether it is at the ground level they have made the investment, or it's just a MOU signing in a Gujarat workshop and all that. So that needs to be seen. And government needs like Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So the hydrogen cannot be monitored just by one member in Niti Aayog and other things. So then it means there is a hydrogen monitoring needs to be done, whether we are going in the right direction or not. In some of the companies, they are telling that policies are not commensurate with the what mission has been given, that state to state transport, how transportation will take place, what is the role of GST, etc. My colleagues have told that even in electrolyzer that 18% GST. So that policy, if one side we are telling 5 million ton in 2030, and then we are telling hydrogen mission, and then we are telling the hub, India will be a hub for hydrogen production, then policy needs to be synchronized with this mission. Whether this, I don't know much about electrolyzer, but if it is, why it is 18% then? If we are using hydrogen, electrolyzer is being used, although a lot of research is going on in electrolyzer also against the China and all that. But why then 18%? So that policy needs to be reframed so that whatever we want to achieve, if we want to really achieve the hydrogen mission given by our Honorable Prime Minister, so then everything, bureaucrats, politicians, the scientists, research scholars, they should work towards that. And then only atmosphere should be conducive for that, policy should be conducive for that, government should help the researcher, the scientist, and then only we will be able to achieve that thing. So to help the government in making India green hydrogen hub, to achieve environment and climate related things. So what is happening in Delhi, that AQI level and all that, so whether this will be repetition in other city, or whether we will be able to reduce that 400 level to around 150. In our Gujarat it is, in Ahmedabad it is 110, in Gandhinagar it is 120. So if we will be able to achieve that in other state or not, or whether we will be able to achieve this in Delhi and all that. So this climate change, etc., they are all interrelated things. If we are not taking the things seriously for energy, because if we are telling that we are the energy people, last half decade we are working in energy, so our policies, our work, our actions should reflect what is our social responsibility, whether energy security, sustainable, economically, it should be given to common person in India. If a villager is not getting energy for the cooking of food, etc., then we cannot say that we are developing. We are relating sometimes the GDP and all that. One time we are telling 80 crore people are given free food, and we are telling GDP 5 trillion. So that needs to be synchronized. If we are reaching towards a 5 trillion economy, whether the 80 crore people are getting food, they need food, or we are just giving that food. So that needs to be seen. To help in meeting the target production of 5 million tons. Again, as Deepak have told, that potential is big, but we have kept a target of only 5 million tons. So what needs to be done to achieve that 5 million ton? So, and that too green, not because we are producing yellow, pink, green, grey and all that. And as our chairman sir have told, that white also. So if white is there, then we will forget green also. If white hydrogen comes, we will forget even green also. But when we are telling green hydrogen, means no involvement of any source of energy, then only it is green. And to add the development related renewable energy capacity, then only we will be able to achieve what is global average today, 82% this oil and gas and coal, 82%, and ours is 89. So when we are going to achieve 82%, so it is not easy task. I don't think even in 2050 we will be 82, because it's a big task. Reducing around a 7-8% dependence on hydrocarbons is a big task for India. And if we are able to achieve 82%, what is today global average or US figure in India, then only we can heading towards a 2070 net zero. Otherwise it will be very difficult to achieve that thing. Now you see that yes, we are using hydrogen. You might have seen there's some development which is coming, hydrogen fuel cell bus deployed at Kerala Cochin International Airport. So this is a good things which are happening. It means what we are talking, it is India rolls out the first hydrogen powered train between Jind and Sonipat. Our railway minister Vaishno has declared around 2 years back, and I think now it has achieved, at least they are testing this thing. So that is a good thing which is happening. And if commercially these things will happen, definitely this is one step towards hydrogen energy. If you see the industrial heatings also, India's first green hydrogen plant in the stainless steel sector located in Jindal Steel, Hisar. This is also given. And Tata has started the hydrogen gas injection in a blast furnace in Jamshedpur. So it means these things are happening. Once the news is coming, it means something is happening. They are real things. They are not they are not paper tiger that they are telling only thing. So these things are. If these things are happening, how we can commercialize these things? That needs to be seen. And once our energy people and the bureaucrats or the Niti Aayog people, if they are serious, definitely things will happen. What we have seen in last 1 decade about solar is really a marvelous thing. What we have seen in India, the solar has done a great revolution in last 10 years. And similar things can happen in hydrogen in coming 1 decade. If we are what we have done in solar, same thing we carry out in our hydrogen sector. Now, as a feedstock also, if you have seen that hydrogen blended PNG, that now the thing is that we can blend the pipe natural gas with hydrogen, and because it's a high calorific value, and if these things happen, although Adani Group has started something, but again the metallurgy of the things, that hydrogen, we cannot put hydrogen in normal pipeline of petroleum, normal pipeline which we are using stainless steel or other steel. So special metallurgies are required. So research needs to be done. If we mix up around 2%, 3%, 10% hydrogen in PNG, natural gas, so how this transportation will take place? The PNG, the pipeline needs to be changed. We are talking of 300 cities that PNGRB, our natural board is there, that Petroleum Natural Gas Regulatory Board is there, PNGRB. So they are going in a very big way for, in India, that we are going for in the 11th round of bidding, that some 300 cities will be covered in this as a PNG. If we can mix hydrogen with that, so it will add value to it. Because once we are adding hydrogen, so it's a use is huge. Because once we are talking of 140 crore people, and what we are telling now, some 16 crore gas connections and all that. So if we are able to mix up the hydrogen blending with PNG, although metallurgy needs to be seen, the percentage needs to, safety factor is also there with hydrogen. But if these things happen, definitely this will be one step towards the hydrogen economy. Green ammonia in Kakinada plant, Reliance Industries, they have put a plant, and this is also in that direction. And but Deepak told, we are working in, I am in PDU, and we were working in green hydrogen production for last 4 years. We could get a success. We have filed a patent also. What we have done, we have produced hydrogen from seawater. Pure sea, we have taken a seawater from Gujarat, different coast of Gujarat, from Khambat, from Bhavnagar, from Diu, and we are optimizing we are doing the electrolysis of this water by putting the waste steel, that is the aluminum waste, and some catalyst. We could get this success in the laboratory. Recently, last week only, we have this inaugurated the plant. This is Shell chairman, India Shell chairman. He came because Shell is funding our research. So in this picture, this is last week picture only. So Shell chairman is and this is a plant which we have put. It's a prototype plant at a cost of around 10 lakh rupees. So we are producing 99.2% hydrogen from seawater, aluminum waste, and one proprietary catalyst we are using. So this, if this is now, we are tying up with some of the investor. We have we started only few months back, started a company, and if this is successful, definitely it will go in a big way for our hydrogen production. And the other side is carbon dioxide sequestration. But we have done that, we have captured the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. In the atmosphere, it's around 480. So we could capture around 70 to 80%, around 300 ppm. And we have made again a prototype. This is the inauguration of the prototype again, the other side. And this is also we have achieved last week only. So with this, I think with a short presentation, I will conclude here. And I think that hydrogen is that's the fact that hydrogen is a future fuel, and technology needs to be, breakthrough in technology needs to be done for achieving $1 1 kg. And if government policies, researcher and entrepreneur, they come together, and as Chairman Sir told, this is possible. Thank you very much.